Hello everybody, this is Tango again, back to feed my addiction called Minecraft. Welcome back and thank you for joining me again. What we're going to do today is first take a quick scenic tour of the surrounding area, and then we're going to get started on the main base in the nearby mountains. So, now as I mentioned last episode, I'm really going to try and move things along at a quick pace to get to the interesting parts, and I'm going to try and cut out a lot of the boring stuff, things like that. So since last episode, where I left you guys in the cave, I've done a lot of grunt work, a lot of resource gathering. I cut down a small forest of spruce wood. I put a decent-sized crater in the nearby desert that I found to get some sandstone. This is the results of my caving. I caved for about another hour, maybe hour and a half. I don't know, it's hard to say. This is the iron stacks I got, a bunch of stone, good enough coal, some goodies down here. Oh yeah, and then my sheep, my red sheep have been very cold lately. So, these are the resources that we're going to use on today's project. But to be perfectly honest with you, I would be surprised if we had enough. I think we'll probably run out, but we'll see how it goes. But first, as I mentioned, I'd like to take a walk around the area and give you a quick tour so you're familiar with the surrounding area. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that short tour of the surrounding area. If you have any questions or thoughts or something you want to say or anything based on what you saw there, by all means leave a comment and I'll definitely get back to you. So, we're up here on this small hill that leads from the plains, the village plains below, up and kind of blends into the mountain area behind me here, or what I'm facing now. And it's right back in here that I think I'm going to make my main base. If you see the mountain kind of forms a nice little U-shaped barrier. Plus, you'll see there's a nice little river running through. So my plans are right back in there is going to be kind of the heart of the base. I also like how, like right there, you can see there's a little kind of really thin wall, if you will, that kind of pops out there. And there's kind of a matching one over here. So I think long term, my plans might be that from basically there all the way through here to over there somewhere, I might make a massive, wall or front of a castle or some kind of fantasy-looking building or something like that. It makes a very grand, majestic entrance to my base. We'll see. Long term, I'm thinking maybe I'll have some of my base go into the side of this mountain here, because that goes back quite a ways on the other side of that ridge there. I probably have some of the base go into and under the mountain, some of it still be exposed to the sunlight above. Probably, like I said, have the wall that provides the front of the base And then out here, long term, just talking real long term now, that village is going to get leveled to the ground, and all of this, even way out there and stuff, the goal is that will be a huge sprawling city, multiple districts, market, mining, farming districts, all kinds of different building styles. We'll see. But for now, the main focus is going to be on building a very solid, functional, automated base all in here. So I don't know about you, but I'm definitely itching to finally get started building something interesting here. So what I'm going to do is, instead, so I don't have to keep going all the way back to the village blacksmith, I'm going to go take all of my resources that I've gathered out of there, bring them up here, and probably punch a little hidey hole in the mountain somewhere, and just make it a little temporary storage so that I can have quick access to what I need. There you have it. Home sweet home. With an uninvited guest. You can't come in here, I'm sorry. One person only. Told you. Didn't listen. Alright, this is our grand, majestic dwelling now. I know you're impressed. I'm going to finish. I still got a couple trips to make, so let me finish unloading my goods and I'll get back to you in a second. Alright, we're all settled in. I got a bunch of furnaces cooking up cobble into smooth stone because we're going to need a lot of smooth stone. We got our wood, our mining supplies, iron, smooth stone that we've already done, and all the sandstone and red wool. So, let's take a look out here. Give you a little bit better idea of what we're dealing with here. You can see the area, like I said, there's a really nice kind of U-shaped opening, I guess, or I'm not sure what you would want to call it, but it's pretty cool. I like it, so that's all I'm going to say. Down here is the river I told you that goes about, and right up there is where I was standing a second ago when I was pointing in. So what I'm kind of thinking is that there'll be, on the other side of that, where it ramps down into the village, will be like, a pretty cool staircase coming up, and then a nice bridge across here. But first things first, I'm going to torch the crap out of this place so that nothing sneaks up on me when I'm building here, so let there be light. And light we have. Alright, so I had talked about this area being the heart of the base. Well, to me, the heart of any base is always the storage room, and that is the project we're going to be working on first. The reason I picked the storage room and the reason I think it's so important is because no matter what you're doing or what you're working on, you're always going back and forth to the storage room to always pick up extra supplies, so I really wanted to have it conveniently located, that sort of thing. So with that said, I did some preliminary measurements. Hello up there. I did some preliminary measurements, and this log piece right here, without going into the details of why, but that's going to be the center point of pretty much everything. So I know it may look like it's a little bit close to the cliff here, but in the end, this is all going to be built up here anyways. So, but part of the reason this is picked is it's kind of halfway between that wall there and kind of the meat of that wall there. I wanted a lot of space behind, so if I have some bigger projects, I can put them in the back or in the mountains. Yeah, and height-wise, you can see, obviously, if this is going to be the level of our storage room here, I've got quite a bit of dirt digging to do. This is probably going to take me forever, but I'm going to get started on that now. And when it's done, this place should look significantly flatter and significantly more open. So let's see. So much dirt. my god. Well, I'm not going to say that took a long time or anything, but I've had to shave 3 times since I started. Yeah. What idiot decided to put the floor of the storage room 6 levels below the Earth's surface? Yeah. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and say that that's enough for now. I think that's going to be enough to build what we want to build. Okay, so my general thought for the storage room is, as I said, this is going to be the center of it right here, is to have a kind of a square room, not too big, where each major direction is going to have kind of an archway that leads out to another wing of the base. And this one here will lead to the entrance, but there'll also be probably stairs or something to lead down to other stuff all in there. But yeah, so let's see. Couple things. So one thing when doing storage rooms that I have to mention that kind of drives me crazy is when you'll see people do this sort of thing a lot. Hang on. I guess I don't need that. You'll see them do something like this. Oh, I forgot chests, but I'll have to get some chests. Imagine those are chests for now. They'll do something like that, and then they'll put their item frames like that, and then they'll repeat more chests over here. Now to me, it just drives me nuts because it's totally ambiguous what's in what chest. You know, does this sign point this way or does this sign point this way? So the design I'm going to come up with is going to solve that. That's basically anytime there's an item frame, there'll only be one chest adjacent to it. So the idea, love how it does that. These things just float around for some random amount of time. There they go. So what I'm going to do is double up the chests. They're going to be coming back too deep like this, so they're going to be going this way. But then facing out here, we're going to have basically like this. So these item frames point to this row of chests, and this row of item frames point to this column of chests here. And then I think what it's going to do is take a turn, get out of my way, and kind of do the same thing like this. So that'll be like one corner of the storage room. So these signs here will point to this column of chests, these signs here will point to this column of chests, and so forth. So now repeat that 4 times on the 4 corners, and you've got a pretty clean, organized storage room. So that's the plan. We'll see how it works out. Alright, so our center block here isn't always going to be a log, obviously, but we'll talk about that later. The first thing I want to try and do is I want to try and put some furnaces around that center block. 8 furnaces. Why does that not sound like the right word? Is that the right word? Furnaces? I feel like I should be saying furnace eye or something stupid like that. Anyway, 8 furnaces around the center point there. I really like the top texture. In fact, I've seen people use that as a flooring texture mixed in with other things. And you might want to try that. It's kind of expensive at 8 cobble per tile, but it works. So yeah, the idea here is that there's going to be furnaces in the floor that you access, so I don't have to dedicate any wall space to them. And they're right in the center point, so they're easy to access. Okay, next thing we're going to do is take our red wool and come out 5 extra blocks now. 3, 4, 5, and let's do it over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let me just square this off. Alright, so what I'm going to do, since this storage room is so symmetrical, I'm just going to focus on building 1 quadrant right now and the 2 archways, and then when I'm done and it's happy and everything's looking good, then I'll repeat the process 3 more times for the other 3 sections of the room. Okay, let me go ahead and fill this in real quick. Okay, so this marks the edge of the walkable area. This next block here will be basically the wall or chests. So let's see. What I want to do next is mark out where the archways are going to be. And I know I want the archways to have a five wide gap walkway. So let's see. From the center, 2 more right there. There we go, that's 5. I just want to step these out right now so we can make sure we're doing this right. Center, 2 more. Okay, right there. Okay. So let's see. If the edge of the edge of the walkway there is going to actually be chests. So let's mark that in, and that means that 2, yeah, 2. This is where our item frames will go, and then I need 1 more there. Gah, can't select the right button. So we're looking at something like this. Alright, kill these. Alright. Get a torch down here so you guys can see. Alright. So, yeah. That's what we talked about. I'll actually put some item frames up here. Oh yeah, the other thing, I'm actually going to go up 4 high. Throw some item frames up. I definitely don't have enough to cover the whole room yet. I'm going to have to go slaughter some cows in a bit. I'll put 4 more here. Why not? Oh, 3 more. I thought I had another one. Nope. Alright. Whoops. Don't fall off the cliff. Alright, so that's basically, and I know it's very crude right now, that's what a corridor is going to look like. And then, let's see here. Let me just carry the red. That'll be the archway floor. Let me repeat the process over here. And then, once we go over here, and I'm going to clean this up all in a little bit. I'm not going to leave dirt and stuff like that. But, yeah. Let's see here. Might as well get the edges correct. So, something like that. Bang, bang. A little bit of that. Whoops. A little bit of that. Gotta make them all double. All in all, this we'll have 64 double chests in this storage room. All right, let me do a little bit more on this, and you'll see how it's coming along. All right. So yeah, I almost forgot the crafting benches. Like the furnaces, I'm gonna try and put those in the floor, and I don't want too many. You know, you really don't need that many. You only need to be able to, you know, you're gonna come up to your chest, you're gonna pull out some stuff, and you're gonna say, I need a crafting bench. And as long as there's generally one in this area, so I think what I'm gonna do is put one at each of these corners here. See how that feels. If it doesn't work out, I can easily add more and some kind of pattern. But and you there. So I think that'll be good. You know, I pull something out of here, turn around. I got a crafting bench right there. Plus, it might make for a good floor pattern in a bit. We'll see. Okay, next let's try one of these archways here. This is gonna be a pain to get right, I know, but let's see. Just throw some dirt there a second. Okay. Yeah, I want to use stone bricks. So this is transitioning now from inside the storage room to outside. Oh, we got 3 over there. Let's go 1 higher. Let's go 1 more. Alright. Throw some stairs. I kind of want it to play with the arch, see how it feels. Oh, that's not bad. Gotta continue hooking it up and over. Okay. Up, up, up. Get up here. Let's see. How do I want to do this? Like... Nope. Ah, where's my pick? Does that come in like that? Maybe? It's kind of tall, but maybe. Let's stick with that for now, see how it feels. And I probably need... I don't have a half slab up there. I'll just throw a brick up there for now. Alright. Not bad. Assuming that was a half slab up there, that wouldn't be that bad. So, let's see. Alright, give me a second. Yeah, so I liked what I was seeing, so I just kind of ran with it. Got a little carried away. Let's see. So, the main storage room is complete inside the interior here. I went out and killed a crap ton of cows to finish off all the item frames. Made all the chests, which was just a ridiculous amount of wood. 64 double chests, so 128 chests I had to create. Let's see, I finished the archway here. I lowered it down one block, I think from last time you saw it. Happy with the way it looks there now. Just one upside down stairs instead of a double. Let's see, I added a half slab kind of open faced ceiling, I guess. Just a nice circular pattern there. My intent is that this is all going to stay very open to the sky here. Eventually I may add, a huge dome glass roof way up there, or something like that. I have no idea really. Just so it doesn't rain on me, because it's kind of depressing to be in the main part of your base and being rained on. But yeah, other than that, just a little half slab, just to kind of give it a little bit of feel. But we'll see. I may ditch that and just make it completely open. I may bring that in more. I'm not sure yet on that. What else? So yeah, the floor is still solid red. It's still just temporary. I'm probably going to put some extra little design in here or something, but that'll come later. So yeah, quick view of what it looks like from the outside. Yeah, we got a nice little cliff drop here. I have to be careful. But here's from the outside. Now I'm gonna, where you're seeing just the spruce wood and the exposed chest here, there's gonna be another block of something decorative here. I'm not sure yet though, but that's what we're gonna work on next. But yeah, there we go. So that's it for the main storage area. But what I'm even a little bit more excited about is what I'm associating to this as a second part of this project is what's going to be outside the storage area. So what the plan is for each of these archways or each of these exits, what I'm thinking I want to do is as you walk out, you'll get, not too far, like right here or something, and you're going to be presented with a split staircase. One that goes up and one that goes down. And what those are going to connect to is, or are, going around the whole storage area are going to be two large kind of outer rings. There'll be two of them, one on top of each other. So the stairs that come out, one will come out and go up to the top ring, and one will come down and go down to the bottom ring, which as I'm realizing right now means I have to dig out, a lot more. So, oh well, I'm not very good at this planning thing, but that's fine. So yeah, you'll come out here, stairs up to the top ring, stairs down to the bottom ring, and those rings will make a perfect circle around the whole storage room. Now the point of those rings is there along the exterior wall of those rings is going to be all the doors and exits to pretty much the meat of our base, all the little, side projects, potion rooms, farms, enchanting rooms, whatever we decide to build is all going to be anchored off those rings. But again, everything will be growing around the storage room, and everything will funnel back into here. So let's get started. So for all of these outside staircases and ramps, this is where I think I'm going to use the sandstone that I've been gathering. So, whoops, back here. Let's throw some of this out there and stop that. Let's see what we're looking at here. And I'll probably come up with some better way to blend these together in a bit, but that's later on. So let's see. Come out one more. And at this point we want to split the walkway. And then try and, let's see, so to the right we'll go up, and to the left we'll go down. So, oh yeah, I should mention, whenever I do stairs, I almost always lean toward just doing staggered half slabs, like so. Mostly because when you're sprinting, which I'm always sprinting anytime I have to go any kind of distance, you can run up, little known fact, you can run up half slabs without breaking your sprint, but you cannot run up stairs. So, plus I always feel like the normal stairs are just a bit too steep. What am I doing? I wanted this side to go up. Grr. Some of that. Trying to do this at a decent speed here. I'm going to do a little bit of this staircase here. I'm going to try and keep it 5 wide. I know that means it kind of has to push out pretty quick here. That might be awkward. Let's see. No. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. That's probably going to go there. Something like this. Maybe. That's not bad, actually. Oops. Ah! 1, 2, 3. Let's see. More. Alright, what do we got over here? 2, then 1. 2, then 1. Oh, that's not bad, actually. Alright, let me play with that for a little bit. Alright, here's an update. I got the stairs going out about as far as I think I want them to. These are the stairs going up. Down here you got the stairs going down, just as I said. So you leave the storage room, and you got your option. And this is all still, very subjective and open to changes. I dug out a little bit here just so you can see how far, or what the stairs would look like when they went down there. But yeah, I got a lot more to dig. So what I'm thinking now is I'm going to start and think about the trim here. I think I want to carry the stone blocks of the archway kind of out and use them to kind of run as a little wall or just, edging for the stairs. So let's see how that works. Nope. Might have to stagger. Let's see, do one of those. Something like that. Let's see here. No. Alright, so yeah, it looks like it's going to be... that one's no good. I want it so that there's always at least a little bit of stone that's higher than the sandstone there, so something like that is what I'm thinking. So I'll take some trial and error here. Gimme. Alright. What do you guys think? Something like that? Maybe. And then, Let's see, let's repeat the process over here. That there. I am just not very accurate today. Alright, so that like that. Probably the dirt, this guy, and that guy. So yeah, let's see. Coming out of here. I wish the side texture was as good as the top texture. It's kind of, I guess I could use the, what is it, chiseled sandstone, or smooth sandstone, not the chiseled. I think chiseled's only available in the temples or something like that. I don't know. I forget. But anyway, this is what I got, so I think we're going to have to live with that. But I kind of like the stonework going up there. Let's see. Let me do the same thing going down. Okay, here's an update. I finished off some of the stone edging going down the stairs. So they got them on both sides now. And what I did down here is I pushed out a little landing platform, kind of 5 blocks. Then the idea was that this was going to be the outer ring, the lower outer ring right here. And right above there would be the upper outer ring. But I was looking at it, I was thinking that was a little bit too close. I know it looks like it's a lot of space, but I want to leave plenty of room, because the distance between these rings is pretty much going to be the distance between all of my structures on the first and second floor, or all my builds with, you know, farms, rooms, side jobs, whatever you want to talk about there. And I want to have plenty of room there for, you know, redstone wiring above and below. So what I did is I just decided to drop it down an extra step here. And I kind of like the way it looks. Adds a little more character to it. So both the lowercase one drops down an extra floor there, and the uppercase one goes up another one here. So this surface that I'm on right here is where the upper ring will be, and that surface right there will be the lower ring. And I don't know, maybe it's like 10 blocks apart or so. We'll see. But yeah, I'm liking the way this is turning out. What do you guys think? Any you know, as always, just give me some recommendations. If there's some part you think that's kind of meh, you know, not cutting it for you, just drop a comment. Definitely open to change at this point. So you guys probably have a lot better ideas than I will, I'm sure. So let me know what you think. Yeah, so episode's getting pretty long at this point. I think I might end it here. We'll see. I may do a little bit more and then just show you a little more progress updates, but I think that's gonna wind down the episode. Let me see. I'll do a little bit more work, see how far I get. Alright, I went ahead and made another half of the staircase on one of the other archways exits from the storage room. So I can kind of see, I also obviously made the outer ring here, or what might be the outer ring, just to give you an idea of what the grand scope of thing is, because now with this ring you can kind of see where it's going, I think. So staircase up here, turn right, you got your outer ring you could walk by. There you go. So, and also to give you an idea of, you know, there'll be like another arch right here, and then this might lead to, you know, whatever. Wheat farm, potion room, who knows. Whatever I feel like putting back there. But yeah, as far as all this down here, I think what might be pretty nice is if I dig all this, here I go again, if I dig all this out and kind of just have like a really far drop down there, I'll probably wait till I get TNT to do that. But it might be cool to, like, I don't know, have a giant lava pool down there or something, or maybe just water. Who knows? We'll see. But I kind of like the idea of having a far drop off there. But I'm really pleased how this turned out today. And I know it was kind of accelerated, but I wanted to fit it into this episode. Future builds will hopefully take a little bit slower. This one I definitely pushed along and did a lot off camera, so I apologize. But yeah, we got our storage room. We got the beginnings of our design for our outer walkways, stairs up. And yeah, I'm going to do something with all that to hide all that stuff right there. So it's all decorated. But yeah. Alright, that's going to do it for today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed everything. As always, if you have any recommendations or questions or suggestions on how I can do something better, please drop a comment and I will definitely get back to you. Once again, my name is Tango and I will see you guys later.